Good morning, everybody. Although it's not a good morning when we're in a government shutdown, and Senate Republicans just voted again to keep the country shut down, the government shut down, and did Donald Trump's bidding in the process. I want to thank, and I know our entire delegation, thanks the federal employees of this country who work every day on behalf of the American people, delivering critical services. Let's give them all a big round of applause. They care for our veterans. They work to develop cures and treatments for diseases that impact every American family. They help keep our food safe. They respond to national disasters and emergencies. They help provide our kids with quality educations, and so much more. And they don't deserve to bear the brunt of this shutdown. They also recognize that it's the American people at the end of the day who will lose the most when the American people are deprived of the benefit of the services that these patriotic federal employees provide. This is also going to hurt federal contractors who help support the government mission in providing services throughout the country. And we're here to say that none of those individuals should bear the impact, nor should the American people. And I want to thank the Maryland congressional delegation. I want to thank this delegation for standing united and firm and strong to say, number one, we should not have shut the government down, and we want to reopen the government. We want to reopen the government without giving Donald Trump a blank check for his lawless activities. And we want to focus on what Donald Trump claimed he wanted to focus on starting on day one, which is bringing down prices and costs that are squeezing the American people, including the explosion in health care costs that is about to hit the American people. Because when Republicans and Donald Trump passed what they call the big beautiful bill, which was beautiful if you're a billionaire, but really stunk if you're anybody else, they made dramatic cuts to Medicaid and other health care programs. They also left in place a ticking time bomb that is going to result in huge premium increases for health care around the country. And I think it's worth remembering that they provided huge tax cut extensions for billionaires and very wealthy people. That's what they did in their bill. They provided huge tax cuts permanently for very rich people. But the tax cut, the tax benefit they allowed to lapse, was the one that helps more Americans afford health insurance. That's the tax cut they allowed to lapse. And so what we want is to move forward and reopen the government. No blank check for President Trump, but let's address some of these issues which he claimed he wanted to talk about. The other point I want to make is that you're losing when you're lying, and Republicans are lying. I just turned on my TV as I was coming over again. You saw the Speaker of the House again saying that what Democrats want to do is provide health care for people who are undocumented. That is a big lie. And you are losing when you're lying. And that is what they're doing. We not only want to reopen the government, we want to make sure that federal government employees and federal contractors do not bear the brunt of this shutdown. We want to provide them with relief. And I want to thank all my colleagues, and I know some of them will talk about the measures that we've introduced to do that. Today in Annapolis, Governor Moore cited some of the measures that he and his team are taking to do that. And in addition to the legislative efforts that we're undertaking, we are also going to be sending alerts and notices to the financial institutions around the country to ask for forbearance when it comes to loans to federal government employees and federal contractors. Insist that utilities exercise forbearance on those bills for electricity or water or for broadband, because these federal employees are great patriots. And we all need to work together to make sure that individuals who have nothing to do with these political disputes are not having to really bear the brunt of it. And so we want to reopen the government. We also want to make sure that as we try to negotiate a resolution, that people are not hurt. And I will just end with this. It's really unfortunate that the House of Representatives is AWOL right now. Speaker of the House isn't even here. President Trump walked away from the negotiations originally, spent the weekend on the golf course, and then came back. And we saw how seriously he took this when he did that AI, deep AI fake. The president is not serious about resolving this issue. We are. And I want to thank my colleagues in the Maryland delegation for all their strength and purpose here. And with that,